Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading. We are going to see what important messages need to come through for Pisces today. Please, Spirit, show us what does Pisces need to know right now. For Pisces, let's see, for Pisces, okay. 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 All right. You guys are getting obstacles on the bottom of the deck. You have brunette female, you have triangle, and you have freedom. It's interesting because before I turned this reading on, I was busy doing quite a few things, and then I started picking up on this energy as I started knowing I was moving closer to your reading. And it was this energy of, somebody putting someone up on a pedestal. And, the minute we start to do that, we start to make an inequity. We start to basically, that's where everything kind of starts to fall apart. And even though it feels really good to be admired or to be the person on the pedestal sometimes, just to be adored or to be, to feel that type of, good attention, I guess. It is not always great for, in as far as the dynamic of a relationship goes. And even with this energy, with the triangle, the brunette female, and the freedom, sometimes when people feel like they're not good enough, their entire goal in a relationship is to prove that they are good enough. And it's so counterintuitive to me, the energy that I'm feeling right here. It is literally like someone using other people or other situations to I don't know, kind of prove that they are good enough for this relationship space that they actually want. It feels kind of confusing to me, and I'm sure if you're involved in it, it's confusing because on the one hand, you're getting this message that someone really cares for you, or really thinks you're amazing, but then they're not treating you like that. Their actions aren't showing up that way. They're not, or maybe they are, but then there are other actions that are not. Now, the other vibe that I'm getting from this triangle is that it may not even be that you're being triangulated with another person. It may be that you're being triangulated with work, or even with past situations. I'm prioritizing the fact that I've been hurt in the past over the opportunity that I have in the present moment. Either way, I feel like this freedom energy is possibly you, Pisces, recognizing that you're not, it's not your problem, it's not your issue, and there's no way for you to solve it. There's no way for you to say to this person, look, you don't have to do this to prove you're worthy. Or that, because it's kind of like someone gets this false sense of importance from attention or being needed, or having something else that they have to do, not really being able to show up. It's I'm that important, or you know what I mean? It's it's giving me the energy of a teeter-totter, and it's I use this to kind of balance it. But the thing about a teeter-totter is you go from being at the bottom to suddenly being super elevated, and then it's being tossed back and forth from one extreme to another, and it's I don't want to ride that ride, I don't want to oh, hold on. My dog likes water in this one dish, and so I gotta get it. Hang on. I heard you, mister. Okay, you picky boy. I'm so sorry about that. But this freedom energy is kind of like the only, if I don't like this feeling, the only option I really have to free myself from it is to move away from it, to remove myself from the equation, to, find my own space over here. And just, even if I've got feelings for you, even if, I'd really like to see where this can go, I'm not willing to go in that direction. I'm not gonna sit here and voluntarily be triangulated with another person or whatever situation. And so there is this, I'm gonna take a leap of faith. I'm going to act on what I know is kind of in my highest and best, because I don't like this feeling of going from one extreme to another for whatever reason it is. And then you have this obstacles energy on the bottom of the deck, and it is, sometimes we think, well, things will change, or in order for something to change, we have to make a different decision. And it's kind of like realizing this isn't going anywhere, and I'm the one that needs to be empowered. I'm the one that needs to make a different decision. I'm the one that needs to say what's okay and what's not okay for me and how I'm being treated. And so there's this, it is kind of like a leap of faith energy, but it is like, the only way for me to free myself from a situation is to just really turn my back on it and go back to being myself here. All right, let's see what else. What else do you have for us, Spirit? What can you tell us about this situation? So for some of you, this may be a situation that you left. There's a whole lot of, talk, or, I don't even know what to say about this, but one of the best ways we signal to the universe that we're ready for a different experience in life is to let go of the things that we need to let go of, that, we need to make space for the new things to come in. And with this energy here, it is like kind of turning our attention to self-love and to, what is best for ourselves. Once we start making decisions like that for ourselves, once we start prioritizing ourselves and start looking at things through that perspective and through that lens, what is best for me in this moment? What do I need? Am I getting what I need? Kind of energy. Once we start doing that, things start to shift and change. Because how we show up for ourselves, it tells the world a lot about what we're willing to accept and how the world has to show up for us in order to have an experience with us or be a part of our life or our world. And so when you're no longer willing to accept, lower vibrational things, or things that don't meet your standards, or aren't healthy for you, or are constantly making you feel like you're on a roller coaster instead of safe and secure and stable in your life. Once you free yourself from that kind of stuff, it helps you to really kind of, the way it's coming through is like fine-tune your energy to solidify the path that you want to be on. And just getting rid of excess baggage is just, it's one of the best things that we can do. I always talk about, I guess it was maybe even a year and a half ago, I I have always struggled throwing things out or getting rid of things or whatever. When I really focus hard, I can, if I'm motivated by like donating to the Goodwill or something like that, I can get rid of stuff, but it doesn't really go with who I am. And my closet was like so full that it was frustrating. I couldn't find what I wanted to wear. I knew I had things in there that I wanted to wear, and I couldn't find it. I, like, at one point have purchased a shirt to wear and couldn't find it in my own closet, and I'm like gonna be late for something because I can't find the shirt that I bought to wear for this occasion. And I just got so frustrated with myself, and my daughter was like, Mom, you just need to clean out your closet. You just need to get real. Like, how many white t-shirts does someone need? How many, you know? And I was like, right. And so I cleaned out my closet, and the joy that having space in my closet, being able to see what was in my closet, knowing that I had gotten rid of so many things that I hadn't worn in years. Like, you know, I was a photographer in New York City, and like the clothes that I wore for that job are very, very different than anything I would ever wear as like a mom and a wife, and even a photographer and an artist in Florida. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, why do I have an entire section of clothes in my closet dedicated to this, which I have not done since COVID, you know? Well, that's not totally true, but it is mostly true. You know, I don't need that. I don't wear that. That's not even representational of my life anymore. And even though in a way it's kind of sad because, you know, all those clothes like did hold a lot of memories for me, but I got a lot of enjoyment out of putting them in the bag and taking them and knowing that someone else was going to get some good vibes, you know? But that act of purging, that act of getting rid of things frees us up. And I'm 6 feet tall, so I've never been someone, I've always been, I'm like the jeans and t-shirt girl, you know, or cutoffs and a t-shirt girl. And that's just kind of my natural personality, I think. I don't know, you know, things change, we evolve. But I never wore dresses. In fact, everyone always teased me and made fun of me because we would have dress up events, like different things, like I sat on the board of different things, and I'd be like, oh, can I not wear a dress? How can I not wear a dress to this? Like, please, Jesus, do not make me wear a dress. Anyway, after I cleaned out my closet, I started feeling like I wanted to wear dresses. It was the craziest thing. I have never experienced that before. And I started buying a dress here and there. And then I started wearing it every once in a while. Like my son and his girlfriend come and we'll have dinner or whatever, and I'll wear a dress. And she's a very girly girl. Like, she wears dresses. She's so cute. Anyway, I literally, now I am like dress crazy. I'm always looking for the perfect dress, you know? And it's just like my whole vibe has shifted. But in order for that to come in, and I've also discovered that wearing dresses in Florida is totally the way to go. If you're planning a trip to Florida, pack yourself some dresses because it is the most comfortable thing to wear, honestly. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is I wouldn't have had space for that energy to come into my closet or into my life had I not cleaned out my closet. And once I cleaned out my closet, I kept it up. Like every few months, I go in there and I'm like, nope, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. You know what I mean? And I donate it and off it goes. And so anyway, it has freed me up to like explore this time in my life and almost like dress differently. And ironically, you guys, I saw on Instagram yesterday, I can't believe this is coming up in a reading, but yesterday I saw this thing where it said, are you craving wearing dresses or something like that? I can't remember exactly how it was, but it got my attention. I was like, this is so weird. And then it said that like your feminine energy just like flows much more in a dress, and it changes your posture, and it changes like all of these things, and it makes you softer, and like all these things that just wearing a dress does. And the difference between wearing pants and wearing a dress, like as a woman, what it is. And I was just like blown away by it. And I was like, man, this just makes so much sense. But anyway, you have to be willing to let go of something in order to make space for something new. We can't hold on to everything and think that we're just going to keep getting new. Like, you know, or new is going to have any space to come in. You know, we only have so much space. Like, we have to keep tending our garden and asking ourselves, is this still relevant? Is this still representational of me? Is this still, and you know, sometimes it is bittersweet, like giving up my New York City wardrobe. That was a very bittersweet moment. I mean, there's a reason I held on to it for so long, you know, and moved it, you know, and everything. But, you know, I am thrilled to embrace this new part of me, this new experience of this, you know, new iteration of me. And it never could have come had I not made space for it. So there is definitely this energy of this choice of kind of realizing, and it does feel like there's a realization around this of like, you know, I can't feel like I have no choice and to say, you know, this person is with someone else, or this person is completely focused on their work, or this person isn't really available fully to me. And I'm kind of riding this wave of when they pay attention to me and when they don't pay attention to me, and feeling like I have no say in the matter. The say I have in the matter is whether or not I'm willing to put up with it. And if I tell the universe I'm not willing to put up with it, I'd rather be free. I'd rather be, you know, only responsible for myself and rising and falling on my own day, on my own mood, on what I'm working through, than rising and falling based on someone else's day, someone else's mood, and always finding myself being completely caught off guard, completely surprised and shocked, and just never feeling really safe or secure in this space. So it's taking our power back by kind of making the only choice available. Do we stay or do we go, you know? And so I feel like that first choice of choosing yourself led to a period of it becoming easier to see those choices. A lot of times, you know, we get stagnant and we feel like it's, you know, like, let's just use my closet because we're there. I could say, you know, my closet is only so big. Like I don't have, I'm stuck. I can't make changes to my wardrobe because my closet is full and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, that's how much space I have for a closet, and all of the space is taken up, and that's it. And I am stuck. I have no power in the situation. Or I can say, okay, this is my closet. This is what I'm dealing with. You know, what can be purged so that I have space for the direction I'm headed, you know, and that's taking your power back. And so there is this energy of, and then with this go with the flow energy, it is a flow. It becomes a flow. It really does. Of it's even how we consider the choices that we make. You know, when I buy something, I'm like, well, what am I willing to give something up to have this? You know, is it special enough? Is it great enough that I want to put this in my closet and potentially have it for, you know, 5-10 years? You know what I mean? Like, but that energy of it is informative about where we're headed, about where we're going. The choices that we make. Our thoughts and our choices really create our reality. So, and also what I am really getting to is that there's a vivacity. You know, like the other day when I had to go to the eye doctor, I wore a dress And I was like, you know, normally when I go and I have to like look in the mirror and put tri-glass frames on and everything, I just lose my mind. I think I look terrible in all of them. I really am not someone that spends very much time looking in the mirror. I like rarely wear makeup. And I was wearing my little dress and I was like, oh, I feel so cute. And when I looked in the mirror, I was feeling really great about myself. And, you know, I was like, dang, you know, I'm 50. That's not, you know, this is not bad. You know, I was feeling so old because I had to get glasses. But then I was like, you know what? You look great. You're doing good. And I was really talking myself up in the experience. And it was the first time I've ever done that or had that. And I really liked trying on glasses. It was crazy. Because usually I hate that stuff. I have so much anxiety about doing stuff like that. I just absolutely hate it. Like if I know I have to pick something out or I have to get something, I hate everything. Everything sucks. I don't want to do it. And then I get down on myself and I'm like, ugh. But this was really uplifting. And it was because I was wearing a dress. And so those decisions that we make really compound. And it leads us to this vivacity. It leads us to, I mean, I was making friends with everyone in there. Because I was just so like, yeah, you know? But anyway, you guys get the funniest part of me. It's hilarious. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is this has a ripple effect in our life. And it causes us to be more magnetic. It causes us to have moments like that where normally we would be kind of spiraling or feeling like crap about ourselves, but instead we're uplifted and we're like, damn, you know, I look good or whatever. You know, I feel good about myself in this situation. Yeah, because you're choosing yourself and because you are standing in your authenticity. And, you know, I'm not going to say like, you know, I'm the best looking person out there. That's not how it is. But it isn't about that. It is about how I feel about myself today versus how I felt about myself yesterday. And when I was holding on to all those clothes in my closet, you know, in some way it's a reminder of a part of my life that I lost or that, you know, I'm not doing anymore or whatever. I mean, it was by choice. I mean, well, COVID, you know, but COVID's over, so I could still do it. But like, it was by choice. I don't want to travel that much. But it's just way too hard on you. Like, it's crazy. But what I'm saying is instead I get to embrace this new part of me. And so that has a ripple effect. And it has a ripple effect on my mood about myself. It has a ripple effect on how I treat other people, on how I enter into spaces, into like all kinds of things. And it makes you more attractive. It does. And this energy, it feels like, you know, you have this social media connection. And, you know, can this be where someone's following you on social media? Absolutely. Like, it's kind of giving me secret admirer vibes where it's like, you know, we've been connected or we've been on social media for a while. Maybe I like your posts here and there. Maybe I, you know, show up in this space. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just watching you. Maybe I'm not commenting or liking, but I'm observing you. And I may even be watching this progression happen. I may even see you like becoming more adventurous or posting more often, or, you know, posting a picture in a bikini, or posting a picture of, you know, like a, you know, I don't know, a great vacation or time out with your friends, or even like a beautiful meal that you're eating, like whatever it is. It's like I'm watching you savor your life because you are in an energy where you're putting yourself first and where you're not drugged down by all the things in your life that you know, drain you and don't give back to you. And so in that way, it's like I'm loving what I'm seeing, or even I'm finding you more and more attractive, or I'm finding myself to be attracted to you where maybe I wasn't before, or I hadn't thought about it before, you know? It's just interesting because you have the secrets involved. I'm actually gonna clarify this because it's kind of giving me like I haven't told you, I haven't come forward, I haven't revealed this. Okay. Wow. For some of you, this could be a past person. This may, like, again, this is showing up. This can be this past person from up here, where this is someone that was really driven by a space of fear or not feeling worthy or not feeling good enough. Someone who was really overburdened, or, you know, they didn't have space in their closet for you. There's like 10 wands here. They don't have any room for anything else. This is someone that really needed to close out a cycle and end some kind of toxic behavior. And it does feel like it is a lack of worthiness, okay? That is truthfully, I literally got the energy of putting someone up on a pedestal and then really being like, this is all the reasons why this isn't gonna work, because I'm not good enough, you know? And that comes through in a lot of different ways. And it seems like it came through by someone, you know, kind of being like, well, I have too much going on to really commit to this or to really give this what it deserves or to even like give it anything. But there is something here where, and it can even be where your own behavior or what is rippling in your life, like your own vivacity, your own, you know, kind of stepping into your like authenticity, but like your best life, like that's what it's literally giving me, is, you know, even showing this person what's possible, or even, you know, showing this person that there are other ways, you know. It is providing this person an opportunity, I feel like, for a spiritual awakening with the Hierophant. But it just keeps giving me this vibe of like showing someone the way, or like being the example, committing to the self, committing to yourself. And you may be surprised, like you may have no idea who this is touching, who this is affecting. But it does feel like for some of you, this is someone who may not be very forthcoming about their feelings, or very forthcoming about the fact that they are still really focused on you, or are paying attention to you, or are watching your social media, or do have feelings for you, or are kind of wanting to pursue something here. I'm just getting this all over the place, you guys. I'm getting like more than one person. Like the shoe is on the other foot. The table has turned. Like for you, more than one person. You may even date, you know, more than one person. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting a real fun, flirty energy. Pisces, this is just, it's really wild. You know, I am getting a real, I gotta clarify this. I'm getting like multiple knights energy, which is like more than one person coming forward. Oh my God, I remember how I literally said the tables have turned. Like you may be the person with more than one person. You have the Wheel of Fortune with the Sun card. Talk about the tables turning. And this is a very radiant energy, the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, which is really what I'm picking up on here. And then you have the Seven of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles. This is, you know, someone that may be very slow to come towards you, but it's like there is some kind of attempt being made, or like ready to be made, or like this is someone that could be moving slowly forward, but like also trying to pay attention to anyone who you know, might be interested or might be competition, to fight them off, or, you know, they're ready to like stand their ground. They're sort of taking their time coming forward, or they're trying to put in meaningful behavior. This can even be someone who may be afraid that they gave you the impression that they just were, this was more about lust or physical attraction or like connection than it was about something deeper. But there's definitely, someone is definitely wanting to or trying to put in the effort. And for some of you, the effort is behind the scenes. You know, it is like, I'm doing what I can. I'm taking every step I can in the right direction. I'm making effort. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. But it may not be like readily obvious with the Seven of Wands, but with the Sun card, it's like coming to light. It's going to be revealed. It's going, like, the secret is coming out. With the Queen of Wands and the Sun card, some of you can, and even Wheel of Fortune, this is heavy Leo energy. For some of you, this may like even be attached to something that happened during Leo season, which was like the end of July to the middle of August. October, oh my goodness. August. There's some kind of major change happening. This can even be you with you, where it's like, this is when you majorly put a push in to just sort of do what was difficult, or, you know, to bring about change by making a different decision. And with the Sun card, it's like a lot of things are becoming clear. A lot of things are you know, just revealing themselves. The Sun also does talk about a reconciliation of soulmates, and there's definitely this energy here for sure. You know, but this can also be like, I'm exploring my own attractiveness. Like, it's almost like there is an energy here a little bit. And so this isn't going to be for everyone, but it is for some people. Like, you know, I am feeling good about myself. I'm feeling attractive with the Queen of Wands. Maybe I am attracting more attention than normal. It's making me feel good. And, you know, maybe I am somebody who's always been a monogamous relationship person or a very serious relationship person, but, you know, maybe I'm starting to get attention from different people, and I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't I just date around? Why wouldn't I just explore this energy? Why wouldn't I just see kind of like what all is out there, instead of, you know, choosing one person and then really just getting to know them, or, you know, accepting them for better or for worse. You know what I mean? It's like, maybe I want a varied experience or something. I don't know, but this feels like a break from kind of a normal way of doing things for you, or, you know, it's like I'm pushing myself. For some of you, it may even feel like it's a bit too soon after something ended for you to feel ready to get out there, but it's like you're doing it. You're kind of pushing yourself to do it. There's just an energy here of really choosing yourself and, you know, seeing yourself as desirous with this Queen of Wands and the Sun card, you know, and doing what makes you feel good and what makes you happy, and exploring even parts of your personality or parts of life that, you know, before didn't feel in alignment with who you were, but you're starting to open up to, or you're starting to think, maybe I would like to try that. Maybe I would like to be that way. And also in that process, there's a falling away of kind of judgment or criticism, or, you know, why don't we do those things? Is it because we're afraid of being judged? Is it because we're afraid of being criticized? Is it because we're afraid of what people will say or think? Like, there's no problem, you know, getting to know multiple people, you know. I don't know, like, I don't know what this is, but there's something there. If it's for you, I feel like you'll know what it is. But I do feel like there is an energy of multiple people, and it does feel like there may be someone from the past who, you know, may have prioritized other things over this relationship, who's like all of a sudden taking really a lot of notice because they're noticing a shift in energy, they're noticing a shift in circumstances, they're seeing that something has changed, and it is it's like making them think, oh my gosh, you know, if I want this to happen, then I need to do it. It's interesting because you have this home sweet home card, and it says like happy, settled, content, private time, love nest. This feels like you with you. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. It feels like you're setting up a space for yourself, Pisces, where you are feeling happy, where you're just feeling content, where you're just kind of feeling like, okay, if this is what it is, I'm good with it. I'm going to make it the best that I can make it. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to take time and consideration and, you know, do the thing. My husband and I were watching Blood of My Blood. I think it's like the Outlander show. And then we watched all the episodes, and so then we went and we started watching Outlander. We had like tried to watch it years ago and couldn't get into it. We were like, what is this time traveling thing? And so, but now we're watching it, and now we really like it. And in the show, she sees a vase in a store window, and she's like, you know, I never settled long enough, or I was never in one place long enough, or whatever, to like make it feasible to own something like a vase, you know, or a vase, however you want to call it. And for whatever reason, this is calling my attention to that. But she really wanted to buy it. It was like so beautiful, and she really wanted to buy it. And she was really called to it. And she thought, you know, maybe now is that time, or that's at least the impression that I got, you know, that like, now maybe the war was over, maybe, you know, it would be the time to buy this vase, or to like have something so kind of impractical but beautiful, you know, something certainly that she didn't need, but that she certainly admired. And you know, with this energy of it's just giving me that, like, I never would have done this before, I'm doing it now, like that energy. I don't know what that's called. It's like indulgent though, and it feels good, you know. It feels like, yeah, I'm taking care of myself, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm making my priorities, or I'm whatever, just the way that I want them to be. And you know, if I want to buy myself a vase and fill it with flowers once a week, just because I like flowers and I just want something beautiful and living in my space that is just for me, and I'm the one that's going to see them and appreciate them, then I'm doing it, you know. And you know, that's kind of the energy I'm getting. It is, you know, our home is the foundation for the life that we go out and live. And when your home starts to feel that way, starts to look that way, starts to reflect that kind of energy, that's the energy you're reflecting when you go outside, you know? And that's attractive. It's like, I'm worth it. You know, I deserve it. I do these things for myself. This is how I treat myself, and this is how I deserve to be treated by other people. Those are hard statements to make. It's really hard to say to another person, you know, this is what I deserve. This is what I want, you know, but you don't have to necessarily say it when you're living it. You know, you don't have to prove it or ask for it when it's clear that is what is expected, because that is what I can give myself. And so if you want to be with me, then you got to be able to give this to me too. If there's an elevation here almost happening, it feels like kind of through the material world. All right, let me dive into the tarot. Funny, also, I got the Tinseltown Tarot, which I was like, I don't hardly ever use this tarot, but it is funny that I feel like we're going in this direction. Yeah, I mean, maybe you dealt with people in the past who made you feel good because they kind of put you on a pedestal, or they acknowledged the things about you that, you know, like they were, you know, kind of you know, very complimentary or very, you know, flattered, you know, flattery energy is what I'm getting, but it was empty. You know, they didn't actually show up and treat you that way. And now it's like you're treating yourself this way to such an extent that it's kind of the price of doing business with you. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, people who are empty can't get through. People who are shallow can't get through it. You have the Knight of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles with the Nine of Swords. You know, yeah, oh my God, that's the freaking energy. You're not having any more regrets. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Look at this Knight of Cups. Remember how I said earlier, I have the feeling of multiple knights? Look at this. You have multiple knights here. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, what I'm telling you is with this energy, with the Queen of Pentacles, you're saying to the world, you know, I'm abundant, I'm solid, I'm stable, I'm nurturing, I'm loving, I have a lot to offer. And my life and everything about me is worth so much to me that you have to be willing to treat me as I deserve to be treated, because I know my worth, or I'm not going to show up. Like, I'm not going to I'm not going to be there. Like, I'm not going to play with you. I don't know. Sorry, something came through so strong. And it was like, you know, when you're an artist and you are trying to say my art is worth this much money, you know, like this is how much it costs. It is a freaky experience. It really is. And it really messes with your sense of worth and value and your sense of, you know, it just messes with everything. Your imposter syndrome, everything. It just triggers everything. And I had to do it once before, and I have to do it again now, where where you look at your stuff and you're like, okay, how much is this worth? You know what I mean? And how much am I going to put? Is like anyone going to buy it? There's a fear when you start saying, I am worth this, that no one will be able to pay the price, or that no one will be willing to, or that no one else will see the same value in it that you do. And with the Nine of Swords and the Queen of Wands, there is that fear. There is an underlying fear there of like, am I putting my standard too high? Am I like almost cutting myself off from what I really want by really staying strong in this value? And by saying I deserve this, or I'm worth this. Is anybody really going to pay that price? You see what I'm saying? And then you have this Knight of Wands energy. What is your fear? Is your fear more that no one's going to pay the price, or no one's going to see the same value in you that you do? Or is your fear that you're going to end up with someone who's in and out, only in it for themselves, you know, the same old shit you've had before? What is worse? What is the bigger fear? You see what I'm saying? But you know that even if the courage is being afraid but doing it anyway. And it requires a lot of courage to be in a healthy relationship and to really show up. And it is giving me this vibe of like, you know, I may be afraid to say I deserve this, or I may be afraid to hold this standard for myself, or holding this standard for myself may prove to me that like, It may reflect back to me at some point that like other people don't see it that way or are not willing to pay that, or you know what I mean? But if I don't say this about myself, you know, and if I don't feel this way about myself, you got to start somewhere, right? You got to just put the price on it and put it out there and see what happens, you know, and just do it. That's what you have to do. And I have found that, and I will tell you, I've sold a lot of stuff in my life that there's always someone willing to pay the price. There always is. And you can put whatever price you want on it and it will sell. It will. And you know, it may not sell to everybody, and it may be just like one person in a blue moon that buys it, but somebody will. I've always just believe in yourself. I have found it is just always true. But here's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's the only way to protect yourself from what you've always experienced, what has always happened with this Knight of Wands energy, with, you know, kind of self-serving people coming in and just taking from you. You're saying, you know, no, you know, my energy is mine and I'm keeping it for myself unless and until you show me that you deserve it, or that you are bringing something to my life of value that makes me loosen up about it and you know, open up to you. But with the Five of Cups in reverse, this is like entering a phase of life where the mantra is no regrets. No regrets, none. We're not doing it, you know? And so maybe part of having no regrets is holding this standard, is saying, you know, I am worth this. With the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, it's like someone is going to come in. Someone is going, their heart will be set on it. They will see that you're holding your value for yourself, and nothing will be more attractive to them than that. You guys seriously may have more than one person coming towards you. And you know, for some of you, it may be, you know, a bit of a smooth talker. And, you know, one of them may be a bit more like that. But there is this energy of being put off by your value and your worth and knowing it. Yeah, oh my God. The ultimate standoff. Oh, hell yes, with the Fool. You know, you have this freedom energy and this Fool card energy, and like this really spoke to me about this. You know, you have freed yourself from all your responsibilities and obligations, you know, or whatever. Like you've gotten yourself out of some bad or sticky situations. You've recovered. You know, whatever. And so, you know, this Knight of Swords energy is someone that can come in. You have 3 knights. In tarot, when you have multiple knights in your reading, it is a sign that you may have more than one person coming towards you. And you may think I'm crazy right now. I'm just getting that. Like, I don't have one person, let alone 3 people coming toward me. Let me tell you, you may be surprised. Things may be very dramatically changing. Especially if you have social media, because with these 2 swords and that social media card, people might be reaching out to you on social media. Like, you may be surprised who you get a DM from. Okay, sorry. Like, this energy starts to move really fast in this reading. With the Queen of Swords here, like, this is someone with discernment. This is someone who's been around the block. This is someone who's had their heart broken. They've been deceived. They've been backstabbed. And they know better. They're like, yes, you can come in here and tell me that you're speaking your truth and have the courage of your convictions and want to move really fast and whatever. But I'm calm and I'm seeing things very clearly. And I am going to let you prove it. I'm going to see if you stick around. I'm going to take my time. And I am wielding a sword, which means that if at any time I don't think this is what is right for me, I'm going to cut it off. But the Queen of Swords always has this hand palm up extended, which is saying, come and tell me. And for me, this is really giving me a vibe of like, you may have more than one person coming in to date you. And it may be something that you don't normally do, but you may be entertaining it, because there's this energy of discerning. And it, you know, like, if you know people who are going for job interviews, you know, when they go for the job interview, like, a lot of times I find myself saying this. I just happen to have several people in my life going for job interviews. And I will say this to them. Well, yeah, you know, like, they're like, well, I don't really know if this is the job I want. And I'm like, I would still go to the interview anyway, because it's a good experience, right? And it's kind of like that. It's giving me this vibe of like, you can always cut it off. You have the sword in your hand. But it's like, you may learn something. You may gain some kind of clarity from something. You may, you know, yeah, sure, it can be exhausting. Yeah, sure, you know, but, and like, you can cut it off at any time. But it's like, I'm just getting, when it rains, it pours. Like, why not? Why not see what people are saying? You have earned this. Like, it keeps giving me, like, you have either, like, dealt with your wounding, you have let go of your responsibilities, you have, I don't even know what it is, but you freed yourself up with the Fool card energy. You ultimately have at some point made a decision or multiple decisions that have led you in a place in your life where you actually have the freedom to choose for yourself. And you have the freedom to figure this out however you want to figure it out. And sometimes what is really hard is getting good quality candidates, or, you know, like, what is coming through is like being at the right place at the right time kind of a vibe. But it's like the Fool, one of the best parts about the Fool is he's got a beginner's mind. He's like kind of open to anything. This can even be like even dating someone or giving someone an opportunity that you wouldn't normally, or that, you know, like, normally you wouldn't date this kind of person, or this is outside your wheelhouse, but like, there's something interesting or intriguing about it, or they're so sure about it that, like, why not just check it out? Why not just give it a chance? The Fool card accepts no limits. The Fool card is like, anything is a realm of possibility. It's a zero. It's like, I'm not putting limitation on this. I'm not saying it has to be like this or it has to be like that. I'm sort of open to anything. And when you're in this energy, and you're also in the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, where you know your own worth and value, it's almost like a can't lose kind of vibe. It's like, you know, I'm not gonna just take whatever I can get, but it's like, but I'm open to hearing what you have to offer. I'm open to, like, listening to this or entertaining this or whatever it is. You know what I mean? 3 nights. And we barely even got here. Yes, it's somewhat, oh my goodness. The sun is coming out for the second time in your reading. Oh my God, you have the Page of Swords here and I was like, is that another knight? But it's a page. Yeah, wow. This Pisces is just so clear. It's like, I feel like you have communication or offers or something. It's coming in from, there's like offers, opportunities. You may even have an opportunity to travel, or you may go traveling, and you may even develop a part of your personality, or like, you may go on a trip, and how do I want to say this? Like who you are on the trip, or like some part about you. Maybe you're very flirtatious, or maybe you're very friendly, or maybe you just like make a lot of friends on airplanes or airports, or, you know, you sit at the bar and you walk away with 3 new friends, or you even maybe even getting social media followers, like connecting with people on social media, or like exchanging emails or whatever. And it's like, I like this. I'm going to take this energy home with me. I'm going to embrace this. Like, I don't have to be on vacation to be this version of myself. I can be this version of myself in my real life. Like, I can do it. And then you have like this 7 of Swords and this Page of Swords energy. This is like really trusting yourself, knowing that when people are deceptive and dishonest or don't have good intentions, you can spot it. And it's about listening to the red flag. It's about saying, oh, I observe a red flag and I'm not questioning it. I'm listening to it and I'm getting the hell out of here. But there's a lot of clarity and there's a lot of happiness that's coming in. Fear, when we're afraid of people and we're afraid of having a bad experience or we're afraid of suffering or whatever, we can play kind of small and we can kind of hide away where it's safe. But if that isn't the life that you want, I mean, even we can say, okay, yeah, I'm happy. I'm by myself. I'm in my house. I like my house. I like my life. It's good. I'm happy. And that is a very powerful place to be. That is emotional contentment on your own, right? But if what you're really craving is partnership and companionship, then sometimes that 9 of cups energy, that like, well, I'm happy all by myself, I'm happy, it kind of keeps us from really pushing ourselves to explore and be curious and see what else is out there. When's the last time you looked at the paper? I don't know. We have a local magazine that puts all of the events in our area. That's how I joined the book club or did free yoga or, there's a bunch of just activities in there. When's the last time you looked at that and we're like, okay, well, let me check something new out. Let me try something different. Let me give something a shot. Let me see who I meet when I go here. Because sometimes we get so content or so comfortable in that energy, even if it's not what we really want, that we don't push ourselves to pursue something or to open up to something. And that may be something you're learning from some kind of trip or travel, where it's like just getting out there, has opened something up within you that it's like, I can keep this going. I can keep this up. But with the Sun card, it's like things are being illuminated here, and happiness is the focus and the priority, and it is really available at this time, it feels like. Again, some of you may be dealing with a Leo, or you may have a Leo coming in. Yeah, wow. This is really saying to me very strongly this energy of not really being a homebody anymore. It's like that quote, ships in the harbor are safe, but that's not what ships are built for. And your emotional contentment is important, and it's worth it guarding with your life, right? Which really what that means is I listen to the red flags. I don't let people into my space to potentially disturb my peace or mess with my mojo that don't deserve to be there. And so it's very much, and it's trusting yourself to know that, and trusting yourself when you get that feeling to walk away from it. Not question it, not wonder about it, not think about giving it a second chance. It's just like, nope, I see it and I know it. There is something here where this is like, I'm ready to come out of potentially like a dry spell or a period of time where I've spent a lot of time by myself reflecting, maybe healing, maybe, coming to deeper level understandings with myself and my past, coming to a place of peace and acceptance. But I am really ready to move forward now. I'm ready for something else. With the 4 of Wands being in reverse, clarifying the 8 of Wands upright. This is like, we're ready to move ahead without obstacle. Like, we're ready to take all the healing and all of that stuff that we did and sort of apply it, like move from that foundation forward to where we want to go. Then you have the 7 of Swords with the Page of Swords clarified by the King of Cups. If you cannot tell just from these cards, right, you got the Page of Swords and the 7 of Swords, and then you have the King of Cups. That's a very different energy, the King of Cups. You're going to know a King of Cups when you see him. You're going to know someone who is capable of emotionally processing for themselves, who's comfortable in their own skin, who has done the work to, it's not that life has never hurt them. It's not that they have never had a bad thing happen or been through a bad experience, but they have figured out how to navigate that space. And on top of it, they have really mastered themselves through everything that they've gone through. This isn't someone that's like running and hiding and keeping life at arm's distance so that they're safe, just sort of watching and waiting rather than actually showing up. This is someone who's like, no, I'm comfortable. I got this. I got you. You know, I take life as it comes. I'm secure. I'm solid. I'm stable. There's no mistaking these two energies. Like, I don't know if someone is afraid here that they're going to end up with someone, you know, that they struggle to trust people because they've had bad experiences. But you're going to know the difference. The difference is glaringly obvious. Like, I just keep getting that, and especially with the Sun card here. With the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, don't rush yourself. Don't force it. You know, take it one step at a time. You know, we're building something strong, solid, and stable. We're not, you know, off to the races. Y'all are going to get a lot of attention. I'm telling you. There is some kind of turning of the table here. With this Three of Pentacles energy, even I'm getting it, there's more than one person that wants to work with you, Pisces, or there will be. It's just, it keeps giving me this energy of just like more than one person. You've had 4 or 5 knights in this reading at this point. You just keep getting knights. That's just people coming towards you. Maybe not all of them are romantic and romantic interests, but there is a there's a heavy emphasis on that. All right, Jesus. Okay, so you guys you're going to be busy. That's what I'm getting. You're going to be busy. Like, your social calendar is going to be full. And it's not even just your social calendar. It's like just trying to manage everything that you want to do in life with all the opportunities that are coming your way. It just feels very like overstuffed. It feels full, which can for Pisces be a lot, can be a bit overwhelming. You have Temperance here, and then you have the Devil with the 5 of Pentacles, and the Devil is being clarified by the Hangman, the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords, all upright. The Temperance energy, there are things that are coming together, and it takes time, and it requires patience. And so there is an energy here of don't rush anything. Just know, like, you know, let's say Mr. Wrong walks in the door and you're like, oh, but it's someone, and I really want companionship. I really want a relationship. I really want to have a partner. Let me just give this a try. When you know that you shouldn't, like when there's something going off inside you that's saying to you, this isn't your person. Sure, you could put lipstick on a pig. Sure, you can doll this up to make it look however you want. You can walk away from this encounter and convince yourself of anything. Maybe they were just nervous. Maybe this, maybe that. But in your gut, you know. You're a Pisces. You're intuitive. You know. There's just an energy here that is like, if you pursue the wrong thing, oftentimes the wrong thing comes around first. And if you pursue the wrong thing, you won't be available for the right thing when it comes along. Like, you'll already be taken. You'll already be occupied. Your focus will already be so heavily in one direction. And sometimes we try to convince ourselves that, like, oh no, you know, I can pay attention to multiple things at the same time. I'm just getting like, no, this isn't about convincing ourselves. This isn't about like talking ourselves through it like that. It is literally about accepting our gut impression and trusting with the Temperance energy that, you know, it may take some time. You may have to have some patience, but it is all coming together. We don't just jump because someone asks us to. Like, this, we're waiting. We want to pick the right person to jump with, you know, not for, with. This Devil card is being clarified by the Hangman and the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. This is just saying, hold on, hold on, hold on. You know, with the Hangman, this is like you have learned a lot from your past experiences. You've gotten a lot of enlightenment. You have all the knowledge that you need. You are capable of seeing things clearly. You just have to trust yourself. You've got to have strong boundaries. You've got to keep in mind what you want and not say, well, I want this. This doesn't really look like this, but maybe it could be. No, it's like, this is what I want. And everything else, I have a boundary up. I'm not letting it in. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not giving it a chance. I don't know why we're having this conversation, Pisces, but I think you're about to be very popular and you're about to have a lot of people coming in. And I feel like this is Spirit's way of telling you, protect your freaking energy. Know your worth, know your value, and protect your energy, and wait for the right one. You know, have you ever done double dutch and jump rope? You know, you can jump at any time. You always have the opportunity to jump. But if you don't jump at the right time, all those ropes are going to get tangled around you and you're going to be stuck. And all the fun will be gone before you've even gotten a chance to start. But if you wait and you jump at the right time, you can have a hell of a good time double jumping. I have no idea where that came from. No idea. Okay. But there you have it. All right. And take it as it resonates. This message is coming through so friggin' strong. Like, hold tight, Pisces. Hold tight. I'm getting it. With the Queen of Swords here, trust your knowledge. Trust that you know. And you've been holding out for emotional contentment with another person, and you deserve that. This isn't the time to take that boundary down and go, all right, I'm going to take, whatever looks good because I'm afraid. Maybe I'm afraid that in the end, no one's going to be willing to pay the price of what I think my worth and my value are. No, this is the time to go. There's only one way to show people how I feel about myself and what I know about myself, and that is to treat myself that way. And to trust what I know, what I know, what I've learned, my discernment, my intuition, and my gut. Okay, wait, let me clarify this, and then we'll dive into the messages. Guys, these readings lately, wow. You guys have Temperance being clarified by the 8 of Swords in reverse and the Judgment card upright. This is rising above our limited mindset about ourselves. We tell ourselves all kinds of bullshit all the time, every day. We do. We question our worth, we question our value, we question everything. And, this is about rising above that. This is about just knowing that your life is so precious and so valuable. You don't want to spend it with the wrong person. You don't want to spend it trying to make something work with someone who can't show up for you. Like, you deserve everything to come together perfectly. You've worked hard to get yourself in whatever position you're in. I know that because the Fool card and that Freedom card tell me that. You've had to make difficult decisions. You've gone through hard times. You have freed yourself. You are in command and in control. And you are limitless in this moment for a reason and because of your own hard work. And so don't waste this opportunity. Don't waste this chance. That's what I'm getting. It's like, don't let your limiting mind self-belief have you make bad judgments. Let go of those limiting self-beliefs, and then every decision that you make from that space will always lift you up. It will always raise you up. This Devil, this 5 of Pentacles energy, this is about, this is very clearly that Rumi quote that I'm always quoting, and it's seek not love, but seek instead the barriers you have built within you against it. Once you uncover those barriers, and the more honest you are with yourself, and the more willing you are to shine a light onto those things and to dismantle them and to realize how unnecessary they are, and to even trace them back to their origin and understand that they're not even your own. There are other people's insecurities and projections that they put onto you at some point, and you just were willing to carry the burden and did. You took it on. You allowed that person to get inside and make you question yourself. And so you're carrying that. It doesn't belong to you. It's not real. It's not true. Its origin story is not in a space of deeply rooted truth. It is literally someone else's insecurity that they didn't want to carry, that they couldn't carry, that they were unwilling to emotionally process on their own, that they handed off to you. And you were like, oh no, I'm not worthy. Oh no, you know? And it's not yours. So look at it, sit with it. Don't be afraid of it. Look at it. Honestly, when you look at it and you trace it back, you're like, oh my God, that's where that came from. Well, that has no bearing on my life, and that's not true. And, you know, now that I'm older and I'm looking at this, I can see that that person that put that burden in my life, you know, was really struggling and was human too. And they couldn't carry it, they couldn't process it, and they handed it off to me out of their own pain, out of their own, you know, inability to process their emotions. Like, but the buck stops here. It ends with me. I don't have to carry these burdens anymore. I don't have to hold this space of insecurity with myself. I don't need to. It never belonged to me to begin with. I'm just carrying it for someone else. It's like they said, hold my beer, and I held their beer. Now all of a sudden I've got a 12-pack and I can't carry anything else, and I don't understand how I got this 12-pack of empty beer bottles, you know? I'm giving this up. I'm voluntarily letting this cycle close out. I'm talking to spirit. I'm talking to the angels. I'm talking to my highest and best self. I am consciously every single day committing at least a minute to some deep breathing and to just say at every exhale, I'm releasing that which no longer serves me. And I'm making space. I'm releasing it. And I'm manifesting in the good stuff. And when that stuff comes in, it will have space in my life. And there will be no barrier between me and love. It will show up. I'm sure of it. And I will be ready for it because I am clearing the way now. It's going to be reciprocal, and it's going to be with someone who wants to share a vision and a plan with you and is truly showing up in the material, physical world to collaborate with you. If you hold out for it, you're going to get it. All right. Let me get you guys some messages. Sorry about this incredibly long reading. I wasn't expecting it. All right, here we go. If you're dealing with a water sign, suddenly all the songs I hear are about you. Be patient with me, please. We will be together again. I had no idea you would end up meaning so much to me, and I won't let you go. Wow. If you're dealing with a fire sign, I am overcoming my fears. Excited. I regret how I handled things before. Cold, trust me, and controlling. If you are dealing with an earth sign, you have daydreaming. I am working on myself. I just want to go back in time. My nerves get the best of me sometimes, blocking, and I am choosing you. And if you're dealing with an air sign, you're getting resentment, doubting. I am still moved by you. Good intentions. I want a future with you. Nostalgic. And I am overthinking everything. I'm so par for the course for an air sign. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. Interesting reading. It was a strong message that was coming through before I even sat down at the table. So I am sure that it is meant for someone, and I hope it resonates with you, at least some part, some message within it. Only take what resonates. And gosh, guys, until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.